So first, I'm going to go over the part that I went over yesterday, or not yesterday, but a while back, the first time. Okay, my first take. So if you're a person who doesn't know what they want to do in life, but you want to live without major regret, you're going to want to know about your strong, consistent desires. So there's a lot of books, there's a lot of resources that will tell you you need to know what you want. You need to write down what is it that you want. Get really clear, define it, get clarity about what your desire is. And I was like, I don't really know what I want and I don't know how to understand but I just don't get it. Like, why do I need to be so clear about it? And for the longest time, I just didn't really care to clearly define what my desire was because I had an idea of what my desire was, and I didn't really feel the need to clearly define it in words. Okay, but here's how I understood it to become more clear on what my desire is. Because the desires that you have right now, there's a strong chance that if you have a desire that keeps coming up, like let's say it came up when you were in high school, when you were in middle school, when you were in college, even now, like year after year after year, you have the same exact desire. The basic desire of like, oh, I wish I had social skills, or I wish I wasn't anxious, or I wish, I didn't get all of these weird memories of things I did wrong in the past. These are all clues into things that you're going to deeply regret in the future. Things that you haven't dealt with yet because you haven't gotten the core desire of what's causing you to have all of those thoughts. Okay, so strong, consistent desires are the mirror of our deepest regret. So if you want to avoid deep regret in the future, okay, some of us are past oriented, some of us are future oriented. It's rare for us to be present oriented. That's the goal though, right? But so if you're future oriented and you want to avoid having deep regret later in life, like all those videos that we watch on platforms where they interview people who are like around 100 years old, a good indication of what your future regret is going to be. I mean, you can't catch all of them, right? But a good indication of what some of the ones that you can catch are the current desires that you have right now. Okay, it's the ones that make you think, if only I had blank, my life would be different. Like, oh, if only I had social skills, my life would be different. If only I had millions of dollars, my life would be different. If only I had like six-pack abs, oh, my life would be different, right? Okay, so if you wanted it 5 years ago, like let's say you wanted it in high school and now you're graduated with college, like you're done with college and everything, and you still want the same thing that you wanted back in high school, chances are that's one of your great consistent desires. And it's just going to keep coming back because you keep not solving it. You keep not doing anything about it, hoping, just wishing for that to go away. But clearly it's not. It doesn't go away because it is a bottleneck to your dreams. Like everyone has a different bottleneck. So some people, it's going to be like persistence and hard work. They're just, a party animal and then they want things to come really easily. Some people, it's going to be just like letting loose and having fun. Like they are constantly at their job. They don't know how to do anything but their job. They try to lead with money. And then now they're just like a husk of a person. And, they only know how to make friends so far as they're paying for their drinks or something, right? I mean, that's not the only two scenarios, but think about how, first of all, write down what is it that it is for you. It's like, if I had this, my life would be different. If I had blank, write in that blank for you. Okay? And then also think about what kind of things that it stops you from doing. Because I don't have blank, my life can't progress in blank way. Just write down what it would do for you if you were to get it, what you can't do because you don't have it. Just think about those things, write it down. So for me, I mean, if you want me to get personal, throw an example in there. For me, one of the things is like a social ability. So I always considered myself to be like kind of like an outlier. I was always like on the outskirts of friend groups and stuff like that. I had one core friend group, but then I mean that was like a high school friendship. So, I mean, that is dissolved as soon as we all graduated, right? Other than that, I've always been on like kind of like the periphery. I've always considered myself like a Pluto out of a lot of friends. And so what that did for me was, it got me really wanting to have social skills, like good social skills where people like me for me and not just because I'm like I just happen to be there or whatever, right? I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly, but well, see that's why we got to write it down, right? We got to make sure that it's very very defined so that we can go forward in the exact way we want. So I mean, this is something that I'm working on too. Okay, so in this book here, Think and Grow Rich, Chapter 2, the desire does not go away. The only way forward is to deal with the desire. And what are you going to do about it? So for the longest time, I considered myself an outcast. And what am I going to do about it? Because I keep failing to make that connection that I'm looking for, right? And it's because of this bottleneck that I have, this lack of social skills, apparently. Maybe a little bit of letting go, a little bit of other stuff. So there's a lot of things that I could work on. But basically what it is something that's not going to go away. So what am I going to do about it? I have two choices. I actively obtain it, put in the hard work, go after it, even if it costs me everything, right? Because right now I'm stuck in the place that I am because of the limitations that I have mentally, right? Mostly mentally, 90%. I don't know, some big number, right? And if I didn't have that limitation, I'd be somewhere else. I'd be in some other place in life. So I can actively obtain it now, or I can forego it and continue to hope that it just kind of disappears at some point in the future, which, I mean, it hasn't for years. Why would it now? Okay. And if you hope you don't still desire it later, that's what becomes regret. Like, it's pretty easy to like make that comparison. Okay. So whatever you hope doesn't come back and it keeps coming back year after year and you keep doing nothing about it, that right there, that is your future regret. So strong desire is the natural mechanism that starts the process for taking action. Okay, so it goes through like a sort of an ultimatum process where on one hand you either do it or on the other hand you just suffer and stay where you are. Okay, the mechanic here is that whatever you think about on a regular basis that elicits a strong emotion for you, like, oh, like I can't get girls because of this, man. It's like I'm so sick of being a little virgin, man. Like that kind of thing. It'll elicit a very strong emotion, right? I'm not making fun of anybody by making that voice. I'm just saying like, it's like it is frustrating, right? And like, I don't know. I'm just trying to make some light out of something that's genuinely frustrating. So when you have that strong emotion, it causes you to move in a certain direction, move towards that goal, or it causes you to move away from that goal and pretend that you don't have it. Okay. So both fighting for your dreams and staying where you are is painful. Change happens. So the change that you want happens when the pain of staying where you're at, like, using the past example that I had, like staying where you're at, where you can't get like a girlfriend or boyfriend is more painful than actually leveling up. That's when the change happens. Okay. So you actually want the thing more than just staying where you are. And it's more painful for you to stay where you are. That's when you'll start actually making moves. So what's cool about this, now that you understand that like there's desire and there's regret, and you don't actually move towards your desire until the pain of achieving that desire is lower than actually just staying where you are and doing nothing. Like who can you imagine like doing nothing actually causes pain? But it causes pain all the time. And the pain of staying still, if it's greater than the pain of moving forward and leveling up, that's when the change happens. That's when you can, avoid your future regret. And what's cool about this is you can actually manipulate this mechanic to your favor. And that's why it's mentioned here. We're going to weaponize our future regret for our own benefit. We're going to weaponize all those years of pain for our own benefit, so that we can level up and become the person that we actually want to be, live a good life, live a happy life with everything that we ever wanted, okay? So the second concept here is to burn the boats and go all in. Another term for burn the boats is throwing your hat over the fence. Basically, putting a wager on yourself with full conviction and self-belief that you will make it. And if you don't make it, well, there's no other options left. You're either going to make it or you're kind of just SOL. You're dead, shit out of luck. So obviously it's a high stakes kind of activity to burn the boats. But if you want success of your wildest dreams, this is what people are doing. You know, they are putting themselves in a situation where they have to perform. They have to do the system, or else they're not going to get the results that they want. And it's going to be very difficult. We're using that pain mechanic in order to push ourselves forward. We need everything that we can get and all the help that we can get in order to achieve the things that we want. And so by burning the boats, the reason why we do this, the reason why we burn the boats is that things you truly want are worth everything else, because you will keep paying the mental cost of not having it until you get it. So think about all the years that you spent just hoping that this certain problem of yours that you would go away. Oh, if only I had this benefit, then all my other problems would go away. All these other problems would go away, and then you do nothing about it, and you have to keep paying the mental cost. Like, oh, there it is again. Oh, all these painful memories and all these like new situations where it's like, oh, if I just like fix this, it would be good. The cost, the mental cost is just way too high. So that's why we got to burn the boats. You got to start believing in yourself so that you can take action. So if you've started many things, but you never finish them, and you find yourself stuck not knowing which path is the best one, this one is going to be the point for you. I don't know if there's a better word for it. So knowing that burning the boats is the solution to your problems, give yourself no doubt in your mind. You got to have full faith in yourself. I mean, if you're not going to burn the boats, you better have that like narcissistic faith in yourself that you're going to make it no matter what. And give yourself no doubt by eliminating all sources of retreat. Okay. Again, another term for this is throwing your hat over the fence, which basically means like if you want to go over the fence, you just throw your hat over, and now you have to go over the fence because if otherwise you just lost your hat. So what burning the boats does, mechanics wise, it forces you to play bigger. It forces you to keep your head in the game. It forces you to believe in yourself or die. It's the gun to the head mentality. You might have heard this here and there from other sources. The gun to the head mentality, where there's nothing left but to actually go out and do the work. It's actually time to go out for that run, to sign up for the gym and actually go to the gym 3 to 5 times a week. Actually go for, eating healthier or making that money, signing up, talking to people, getting things to happen, making money, calling people. I repeated a number of things here. But anyway, if you're not willing to burn the boats, at least understand the mechanic of what burning the boats does. And implement the same mindset without the real danger. Like I said, the narcissistic amount of faith in yourself. If you're not willing to burn the boats, you better have that much faith and belief that you will be able to make it. So why do we want to do this? Your state of mind is the key. We want to change our state of mind. So the reason why you haven't done the things that you wanted to do, the reason why you don't have the burning desire that you wish you had in order to achieve your dreams is because of the state of mind that you're in. You want a winner's mindset, not a loser's mindset. So you've heard this before. A winner seeks to win the game that he's chosen to play. A loser seeks to not lose, okay? What it looks like is a loser abandons the game. He goes off to play something else after he sees signs of losing. Okay, so he's constantly jumping from like this solution to that solution to this trick to that hack. Okay. And so that's what the loser does. A winner ends up being good at the game he's chosen. He just said, this is the one that I'm going to do. It seems right. There's all the right markers for it. The market cap is high enough. The business is good. I have a passion. I have like vaguely a passion for it. Okay. So I'm just going to make this work. This is the role for me. You see this a lot actually in business owners whose like parents were running a certain business. Like Gary Vee is an example. Like his parents owned a winery, and he just made the winery thing work. Okay. He ended up going into more media than wines, I think. I mean, that's the way that I see it. But, he just made the wine thing work. He just had utter belief that that was the avenue that he's going to choose. And so you don't choose like 50 different avenues. I mean, this is really advice for myself because I have done that. I've had like a different job every 3 years or something like that. And I mean, I have my own reasons for it. I don't regret it at all. But going on from here, where my game plan is a little different, the conditions are a little different, my axes of freedom in what I choose to do is a little different. This is going to be good advice for me going forward. A winner chooses one thing and makes it work. A loser shops around trying to find something that is going to work for him. Okay, so the winner ends up being good at the game he's chosen. The loser ends up playing many games and being poorly skilled at all of them. You become a master chess player by playing chess. You don't become a master chess player or a Go player or a shogi player or a checkers player by playing all 4 of them. Okay, to finish what you start and only move on to other things once you've gotten the experience of seeing something difficult through to completion. So like I said, Gary Vee as an example, he took a $3 million wine company that his dad and his parents made, turned it into a $60 million wine company. And then he's doing all this media stuff. And now he can do both. He knows about wines. He knows about media. And once you master something, then you can diversify, but don't diversify before you've mastered the thing that you've chosen. And you can't choose unless you have a burning desire for something. If you don't have a burning desire, then you're just going to flip-flop all over the place, which is what I've been doing, right? So this is why this is so important. And I don't know, you might be wondering, like, why is this guy... Okay, if you're listening to the video, you're probably already off the video. But if you're, let's just say you're wondering, why is this guy teaching when he's like the prime example of what not to do? Okay, well, for me, I'm trying to teach it because teaching is the best way to learn. This is information that I need to drill into my brain. And so, I mean, if you're here for the ride, that's great. This is really just for me teaching myself. I'm trying to give myself the best information. And by teaching you the best information, I also get the best information. It's just a win-win way of doing things. Okay? All right. So the object is to want money and to become so determined to have it that you convince yourself you will have it. That's in the book, page 27, page 27, fourth paragraph, direct quote. The object is to want money, so have a desire for money, and also become so determined, this is the mindset that we're talking about, to have it that you convince yourself you will have it. So it's a want and a mindset. A want mindset. Two parts of the mental game that is going to give you that burning desire, apparently. Okay? The price is already paid. This is a concept that I want to share with you guys. The price is already paid. You either pay the price of staying where you are and constantly having to live with the pain of your regrets, constant new issues. Like if you have social issues at an older age, like let's say you're like 30, 35, which I'm going to be, and you have social issues, which I do. Like I can already see it. There's tons of people who are older than I am, like say like 50, 60. They still haven't figured out the social skills thing. So they're walking around, they're like creepy. They're like a creepy 50 to 60 year old. And so I'm sure they live with like tons of regret, like 50, 60 years old, and they're walking around, they can't make a social connection. and like things that they do are uncalibrated and creepy, and it's just everyone is repelled by them, and they're probably wondering like, is something wrong with me? They try not to show it, but by trying not to show it, they end up being more creepy. It's just all bad, right? So it's good to solve this kind of stuff when other people are going to be a little more lenient towards you. There's more people around you who are actually your age. Like, you ever wonder, you ever think about how like the moment you're born is actually, or maybe like when you're younger, okay, when you're a toddler, that is when the most people your age are ever going to be alive. Like, the longer you are alive, the less people on earth will be your age. Okay? So yeah, figure this stuff out young. So I'm getting to be like, I'm around 30 now. And so, I mean, it's really for me, like, I'd rather learn this, shamelessly at 30 than have to learn it at 45, or even worse, learn it at like 60. That would be terrible, right? So I want to learn it as early as possible. I wish I could have learned it at 25 or 20 or 15. Like, that would have been nice, or 10. Like, that would have been really cool. But I mean, just early as possible. The price of getting what you want. Needing to do what you've been avoiding all this time. That's why it's important to burn the boats. What you need is exactly the same thing you wish to avoid. So yeah, that's the other price. So instead of being the creepy 60-year-old, the other price to pay is you just go straight for what it is that you want. Okay, I need social skills. I'm going to get over my social anxiety. I'm going to get over the fact that people are going to say things about me, and I'm going to make my wave in the world. I'm going to make waves. I'm going to talk to everybody at my school, all 2,400 people at my school. I'm going to talk to like one or two of them every single day, and that's going to be my high school experience. Like, if I went back to high school, if I was like 14 again, that's what I would do. I would talk to like 1, 2, 3 people in my school every single day, new people, and I would just try to get to know everybody. You never get another experience like that ever in your life, where you have like 2,000 kids who are exactly the same age as you. Never. Let's see. If and once you have an end result that will sufficiently solve your issue, why would you need another solution? It makes sense to stop shopping around for other solutions and focus on making the one in front of you work. So this was the winner's mindset that I was talking about. So if you have a solution and you know it will work and you know it will adequately suit your needs, it's good to just master that thing. Like, you can always, if we're talking about a business, you can always systematize that business and then sell it later. You don't have to be the one who's like the core person in the business. Just make it a system, put other people in it, and then just sell it. Just sell the business. But you can't do that until you master the business first, until you make it fully automated. So basically, just keep going. Stop shopping around for better solutions. Like, yeah, I mean, you could have like a $2 million a year business, or like a $200,000 a year business here, and then a better business could be right around the corner. But you don't want to shop around for that, because you actually don't know. You're gonna have to re-implement everything. You're gonna have to figure everything out again. It's just too much work for one lifetime. Okay, so make one thing happen, make one thing work. Just do whatever you want with it once you understand what it is that you're doing, and once it has a valuation, once other people know about it, and then you can go to the next thing. It also makes sense to give yourself no possible way of retreat, so that you don't get stuck on the many hows and simply make progress towards your success. Okay, so that's the burning of the boats. The third thing is to cultivate desire and dream big. Cultivating desire and dreaming big. Your desire must be more than a hope or a wish. And so we've been talking about this for quite a long time now. Your desire, if it's just something that you kind of like wish went away, or you hope it kind of fixed itself, you end up not doing anything, and then you end up 5 years later realizing that it's back, stronger than ever. You're older. There's less resources for you. It's more embarrassing for you to fix it, and it's just never gonna get done until you do something about it. So what are you gonna do about it? If you already believed you could get it, you would have done it already. So something is putting the desire outside of the fence of possibilities with your mind. So this is a concept that I'm going to put forward, the fence of possibilities. If you were a cow in a pasture and you had a bunch of options available to you, like different patches of grass, the patch of grass that you want to eat, if you can't get it, it means it's outside of your pasture of possibilities. You have a fence, and the grass that you want is outside that fence, and you can't leave. Okay? So something is putting that desire outside of there to make you say, $1 million must be nice. And it must be nice meaning like, yeah, I mean, it'd be cool, but I don't really think I can make it. Right? So a desire becomes more than a hope or a wish once you fully believe that it is possible. Not easy per se, but if you think that it's possible to achieve, then it becomes within your fence of possibilities. It might be, on the top of a mountain, but I mean, that's the grass you want to eat. You can climb the top of the mountain. It's still within the fence. Okay. You just have a mountain inside your fence. A desire becomes more than a hope or a wish once you fully believe that it is possible. To have an effective desire for something you've never had before, it's necessary to push the boundaries for what you believe is possible. So you need to expand the fence. The fenced-off pasture of possibility, here's a quote for you. No one is ready for a thing until he believes he can acquire it. That's a direct quote from the book. No one is ready for a thing until he believes he can acquire it. So don't be afraid to set your dreams to something that you personally can't visualize yourself obtaining yet. This is something he talks about in the book. And if you want a more modern example, the business sensation Alex Hormozi, Layla Hormozi. I think Layla was the one who was talking about this on her channel. She said one of the biggest regrets that she and Alex had is that they didn't dream big enough, which is like crazy to think about because right now they're raking in like a $300 million a year, and they're still saying they didn't dream big enough. Like they could have dreamed bigger. And so this is why it's important to dream bigger than you ever thought was possible, because I'm sure when they started, they probably thought like $300 million a year was like, it probably exceeds their expectations. And yet they still think that they didn't dream big enough once they got there. So for you, and in the book, okay, let's talk about the book. In the book, Napoleon was given a task by Andrew Carnegie when he was like talking to Andrew Carnegie at the time. And Andrew Carnegie told him like, hey, you should interview like 5,000 successful people. And Napoleon Hill, when he was told that by Andrew Carnegie, had a lot of mental barriers. He's like, who am I to do this? Like, I don't think I could do it. Blah, 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 blah. Where's the money going to come from? There's a lot of mental blocks, right? But eventually, he was able to expand the fence so that interviewing 5,000 successful people like Andrew Carnegie, Thomas Edison, blah, 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 like tons of people, right? It became just something that he did. He figured out a way for it to work. If you determine the maximum size of your dreams and the maximum size can expand, then you can still work towards a goal that seems too large. That's basically what I'm saying. So temporary defeat brings, okay, so this is all of the other things that I haven't expanded upon. But basically, temporary defeat brings equivalent seeds to success. So basically what he's saying in this book is to fail as much as possible. If you fail a ton, that is all that is it is a seed to a future success. The more you fail, the more reference experiences, seeds you have for something working out in the future. And he talks about Edison with his 10,000 experiments or 1,000 light bulbs or something like that. We have a more modern example in Dyson. I think it was like 4,000 something prototypes before he got to the first sellable Dyson vacuum model. And now he's like a billionaire, right? So that is the kind of thing that we're going for. As long as you keep your head in the game, as long as you keep yourself present in the moment, looking around for solutions, okay, not other solutions, but looking around for solutions for your problem, okay, then, or like looking for your solution. I don't know how to say that. You know what I mean, right? I just spent a whole bunch of time talking about it. Then you have a bunch of seeds for success. And I like that he calls it seeds because it does bring up an interesting analogy. Okay, so if you keep all of your seeds tucked away in your house, in your store yard, you stick it under your bed where no one can see it, or no one can, like, you know, if you don't use the seeds to success, you'll never get a harvest. Okay, so in order to get the success, you constantly have to be replanting, tending to your failures and your future success. You got to be cultivating these seeds so that they continue to sprout and eventually grow into a bountiful harvest. Build up a strong desire so that you don't accept failure permanently. Okay, so this is like the thing that I was talking about earlier about burning the boats. So when you burn the boats and when you don't accept failure permanently, that is basically, it's kind of the same thing. So if there's a minor setback, but you know you can't go home until it's all the way done, then you're not going to let a minor setback stop you from achieving the bigger goal. Okay? So if you have a strong enough desire, according to the book, like I haven't been able to master this myself, but if you have a strong enough desire, in the book it says that you will not accept failure permanently. It says that every defeat is going to be temporary. That brings you seeds of equivalent success. So if you have a big failure, you have a seed for an equivalent big success. So it's also saying think long term in your desire. So don't think of it as like super quick stuff where it's like, okay, 1 or 2 failures and then I'm going to succeed. A lot of the examples in the book that he talks about are on like 5-year, 10-year trajectories. So Dyson, I think he spent like 4 years creating his vacuum. So he was doing like 3 prototypes a day, which is insanity. 3 prototypes a day, every single day for 4 years. He also has an example at the beginning of the chapter. Edwin C. Barnes wanted to work with Thomas Edison, and that was a 5-year track. Okay. And so think long-term in your desire. 5 years comes up a number of times in the book. 5 years to completely change your life. 5 years to completely change your life. I was trying to say that like Jim Rohn. I like the way that, like, I thought it was kind of weird the way Jim Rohn talked, but now that I listen to him, it's like, he has a certain musicality to his voice when he's doing seminars that I kind of really like. It's very engaging, okay? And, he's a little bit older, so he doesn't know about all of the engaging ways that we talk on social media now, but he was doing it before all of us were. He's the granddaddy of, like, engaging speaking. So 5 years to change your life, like something like that. I don't know. All right, summary. So why is this important? And what is the book saying about cultivating strong desire and living a life we are truly happy with? The mechanics at play. So a strong desire that you have that is going to lead to deep regret, it's going to come up over and over again. That is the mechanic at play. The price is fixed. It costs whatever it costs, and you're going to pay it no matter what. Okay? So whether you do nothing about it, you're going to pay in mental pain. If you do something about it and you work towards it, then you're going to pay in struggle and effort. But the price is already paid. You just have to decide which way you want to pay for it. And you won't get it until you believe that you can have it and decide that you must have it in a way that's authentic to you. You won't get it until you believe that you can have it and decide that you must have it in a way that's authentic to you. So this is again about the pasture of possibilities. You have to believe that it's within your scope. And you will continue to pay the mental burden of not having it. Yes, I said that. Taking action and meeting temporary failure will give you seeds of success, but you must sow the seeds effectively. to bring them to life. All right, so this is a concept that we haven't covered that I put in here. You lose the viability of your seeds in at least 3 ways. So here's 3 ways that I have lost a lot of viability in the seeds of success when I had my failures. So the first way is to just give up entirely. So when you give up, you are putting the seeds under the bed and you're just letting them get old, become unviable, and you just wasted those failures. Okay. 2 is you forgot. You literally forgot about your goals. And so you just stopped working towards them. It's not that you gave up per se, but you forgot what your goals were. You got lost. You forgot what you were supposed to do every day. You didn't have an action plan. And so you got lost in the sauce. That's kind of what was happening these past couple days. Because sometimes the things that lead to success are unusually simple and they seem kind of dumb. Right? But the basic thing is like, okay, remind yourself what you're going to do every day. Do something every day that moves you towards your goal, and then do it every day. And it just seems dumb on a day-to-day basis. But if you work towards that simple, like, machine of working towards your goals every day, reminding yourself what you're doing it for, why you're doing it, and what you want when you get to the end, and then just actually going out and doing it every day, then I forgot how to end that sentence, but like that's basically what it is. You either give up, you forget, or the third one is you're going too slow. So you lose viability in your failure if you're going too slow, because if you move too slowly, you didn't forget, you didn't give up, but you just aren't getting enough action. You're not building enough seeds in order to get that critical mass and have that big payout. So if you're only getting 1 or 2 sesame seeds every year, you can't really expect to have a bountiful harvest in any meaningful amount of time. So you either give up, you forget, or you're too slow. These are the ways that I know of losing viability of your failures. And if you don't want your failures to go to complete waste, because who likes making their failures mean absolutely nothing, just like constantly haunting them for all of eternity, all you have to do is do one of these things. You give up, you forget, or work on it too slowly. So cultivating desire really it's just telling yourselves over and over again, I want it badly. Yes, I confirm I really, really do want it. And I want it now, right? I want it badly. I confirm, yes, I do really want it, and I want it now. So how do we put this into practical action? So I was talking about doing something every day. If you have an action plan, I'm going to call it a daily action plan. If you already have one, if you're already doing it every day, like let's say you want 6-pack abs. If you're already going to the gym 5 days a week and you have 2 days recovery with cardio and you already have a daily action plan, then you don't need to follow any of this, right? But if you don't, you're going to need a daily action plan. And so if you don't have a daily action plan, there is a daily action plan listed here in the book, and it's called The 6 Steps to Achieving Wealth. It's a book called Think and Grow Rich, so he's going to relate it directly to getting money, but you can really do it for anything, whether you want fitness or you want a relationship or you want wealth like it says. You can really use it for anything that you want. And so I'm going to go over the 6 steps to achieving wealth. So this is the bread and butter. When you read the book, this is probably what's going to stick out to you in chapter 2. This is like, I got to write this down. He explains it more in chapter 4. I would recommend that you read chapter 4. It's a short one, chapter 4. So you get a fuller understanding of what it is that he wants you to do. But the 6 steps is basically this. So real quick, you got to define what you want. You got to define what you're going to do in order to get what you want. You're going to establish a due date. You're going to create your daily action plan. You're going to write all those 4 things in a very short thing. And then number 6 is you're going to read the statement that you wrote down every day, twice a day, so you never forget it. And then you even remember it, you memorize it so that you have it in your head all the time. So that is the 6-step plan. So here, let me go over it more slowly and more detailed. Number 1, Fix in your mind the exact amount of money you desire. It is not sufficient merely to say, I want plenty of money. Be definite as to the amount. Determine what you intend to give in return for the money you desire. There is no such reality as something for nothing. So basically, this is telling you, like, what do you want to do in order to get the thing that you want? Okay, so do you want to get millions of dollars by tap dancing? Do you want to get millions of dollars by speaking to kids at as a public speaker at schools? Do you want to become a coach? Do you want to sell toys online? Do you want to sell cars? Do you want to become a salesman? I don't know. There's like a billion things that you could do. But just determine exactly what you're going to do in order to achieve the goal that you want. Okay? And, I'm not even sure if it needs to make sense. Like, hey, I want to become, I want to get abs by playing chess. Like, I don't even know if it needs to make sense. Like, I'm going to get 6-pack abs by playing chess. And then if that's really your goal, you can create a daily action plan that makes sense. Like, okay, I'm going to play chess online. I'm going to play chess at tournaments, and every move I make, if it's a long game that's not blitz, then I'll do a push-up in between every single move. Or if it's a blitz game, it's like, oh, after every game, if I win, I'll do 3 push-ups. If I lose, I'll do 10 push-ups. Or like crunches or whatever that gets you abs. I don't know. Does it look like I know? But yeah, just come up with something. Okay? What do you want? How do you want to get it? Number 3, establish a definite date when you intend to possess the money you desire. Put a due date on it. Put an expiration date on your dreams. This is how you're going to actually take action in a way that is going to be fast enough for that critical mass. So if you don't have a due date, you might end up working on it, but you might end up working on it a little too slow. So how are you going to do the thing that you want to do to get the money that you want in an X amount of time? That's going to give you an exact mathematical formula for how much you need to make in order to actually succeed. Number 4, and this is what I've been talking about quite a bit, is create a definite plan for carrying out your desire and begin at once, immediately. Whether you are ready or not, take action immediately to put this plan into action. And so at first, I didn't know what he was talking about in this book. It took me one whole entire read through the book in order to understand what he meant. But number 4 is basically create a daily action plan. Create a definite plan for carrying out your desire and begin at once, whether you are ready or not, to put this plan into action. That's the word. So what are you going to do? Daily action plan, in order to make it so that every single iteration of you, when you go to sleep and wake up, think of yourself as a different person. You're a different person, and this person also needs to work towards the hive mind goal. Okay, so if you were like 30,000 different people, and then all 30,000 people had to work towards one goal, what plan would you put into place for each one of these people, each 30,000 of you, to achieve that one goal? And that is the basic thing, okay? That's the daily action plan. Number 5, write out a clear, concise statement of the amount of money you intend to acquire. Name the time limits for its acquisition. State what you intend to give in return for the money, and describe clearly the plan through which you intend to accumulate it. So basically, he's writing it. He's like making it very clear. The previous 4 points, write it down. Write out a clear, concise statement of all those 4 things. Number 6, read your written statement aloud, twice daily, once just before retiring at night, and once after arising in the morning. As you read, you see and feel and believe yourself already in possession of the money. And remember to elicit emotion. That's from chapter 4.
But if you can visualize it, if you believe it, this is where manifestation comes, by the way. Think and Grow Rich is literally the granddaddy book of all these like girl manifestation, like manifesting. This is actually the book. But anyway, see and feel and believe yourself already in possession of the money, and remember to elicit emotion. See, where a lot of people get the manifestation wrong is they'll manifest like, I'm gonna be a millionaire, and then they do nothing about it. So that's the only thing that's wrong about manifestation. This is telling you to take action immediately. Please take action. But if you believe it and you take action towards it every day for a long period of time, then you will achieve your goals. Read your written statement aloud twice daily. And as you read, see and feel and believe yourself already in possession of the money. And remember to elicit emotion. All right. So that is chapter 2 of Think and Grow Rich. So let me know what you guys think about that. I think it's an excellent chapter. There's a lot in here for just about anybody who wants to achieve their dreams. Chapter 2 on desire, throwing your hat over the fence, gun to the head mentality, like you are going to get it. There is the pasture of possibilities. That's something that I kind of made up on my own. But you have to believe that it is within the realm of possibilities in order to achieve something. You got to believe that you are going to do it. You got to believe that you're not going to stop. You got to believe that you do actually really want it. You got to remind yourself every day. You got to add an action plan to everything that you want to do. You got to define exactly what you want and how you want to go get it. And that is the essential bits of desire. So let me know what you guys think. If you liked this thing, I don't know, it was like just a read off. I don't know if this was a podcast. I don't think this counts as a podcast. But if you liked whatever this long form video was, then be sure to like the video. Be sure to comment below what you think. If you have any ways that I think I can improve where you think I can improve the format. If you have any ways to make it so that my voice doesn't blow out at the end of it, or any of those things, please let me know. I think I did a way better job than last time I did. I covered a lot more ground in a lot less time. And so I'm pretty proud of myself. I will continue to share these ideas and these learnings that I have. And hopefully one day it'll be good enough for you guys to actually sit down and watch, or be taught by this fellow student. All right, everybody start somewhere, and this is where I'm starting. Thank you for tuning in, or if you're from the future wondering what kind of start little old me has had, you've seen it. You've been my witness, so thank you for that. All right, take care. Love you. Bye-bye.